Welcome to Landria on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. I'm going into some deep subjects that I usually never talk about. And I think it's time that you and I have that discussion, don't you? You may be thinking about this. I do not want my channel to ever go into spaces where I think I have the answers to anything, because I don't. The answer for me is that everything is possible. We are one. There is no separation. When you believe there is separation, you create conflict and lower frequencies. When you give up the separation, you will see your world completely different. And when you know that we are one thing, you know that there are no limits to anything that you can access, have, be, or do. But if you come from the ego that needs those things, needs the N-word, we don't like to use the N-word, then guess what? You're back to separation. So today I want to talk about something that some of you may turn this video off, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these subjects, but it is something we have to come to terms with, because it's going to be in our face. It's already in our face. And that is the fact that we are one planet, one species of many, many endless ones out there. How can we not be? We are living in such an archaic Neanderthal, let's just say, way of thinking, that there are still many people that believe that there can't possibly be life on other planets, that we're the only ones, that that's Satan and whatever. It's programming. That's all programming. What could possibly be bad about the thought that there are other life forms and other societies and civilizations? What would be the problem with that? The programming we have going on right now is that they're negative and evil, and that's not true. I'm going to demonstrate something to you and get you to think about this. The very people that believe that are the very people that will oppose governments, oppose other people for different cultures, oppose nations, battle and fight and argue opinions. That's separatism. It's unnecessary. It's just not necessary. You do not have to have any information. We do not have to have disclosure. It doesn't matter what government papers we get. It's irrelevant. All you need to know for your own peace of mind is that we are one beautiful energy, and from that are unlimited life forms everywhere. And I guarantee you, some of them are, not all, let's just say, on the highest frequency. But I do guarantee you one thing. The ones that have visited us care about us, and if we were going to be destroyed, it would have happened by now, and it won't be with a weapon. They don't need to do that. We're part of a galactic family, and we are so archaic that we haven't been invited in. Why? Because we can't get along with one another. I want you to think about this. Something shows up, the first thing people do is shoot at it. Bigfoot, I saw the show, they're shooting at it. What do? We want to kill everything that we don't understand. Other realms and dimensions, they're Satan. Because we're unfamiliar with it. Because we're told that we're supposed to fear everything. Fear is the number one issue, the block between you and opening up to miracles every day. When you fear anything, it not only fuels the negative frequency, it invites others, and it keeps you down there in places that you don't want to be. Fear is just not knowing, and an individual expression that somehow it's a threat to me. When you know you're not an individual, you're part of one massive energy, there's never a threat. Yes, there's some scary stuff. As humans, we're always going to have those reactions on some level, unless you're in like super high frequency. I want to share something with you right now. If we do not get our act together and recognize that there is no enemy on this planet, and we stop killing each other, arguing with each other, fighting governments, fighting this, battling that, watching the negative news, watching the conspiracy theories, I want to just point something out there. All of that is creating negativity and fear. And everybody that is in that, really into that, thinks it's all a good thing, they're doing something good. It's only fueling more fear. Because we don't know. We don't have the answers. No one, not anybody on any piece of paper or whatever they disclose, has the answers. The answer is that everything is consciousness. It is one thing. Everything is one thing. All of that is part of one energy shared. When you oppose anything, you are giving your power away. You diminish your power by going to a lower frequency. That's all that means. So you're going to connect on that lower frequency of fear, of blame, disclosure. We have disclosure. Of course there's life on other planets. They're petrified of us. That's why nobody showed up, blatantly showed up yet and said, hey, hi. And then if they have, well, the world doesn't know all the facts. Why? Because we are such a Neanderthal, backwards planet. And we have the capabilities to be amazing, to be at peace, to love one another. These things are going to show up at some point. When I say these things, I mean that we're going to be made very well aware. We already are, I think. I think most of you are up on this stuff. Made well aware that there are many, many, many other life forms out there that would really love to invite us in to the family of other planets. I want you to think about that. How amazing if we said, wow, there are other cool planets out there, just like there are other countries. But how do we treat each other in those other countries? As enemies. So how can we feel good about other planets when we can't feel good about each other's own countries and differences? We don't celebrate them. We want everybody to be like us, so we're thinking as individuals. There is an entire family out there, an energy of which we share, and they're amazing. And yes, some of them have some of the same problems that we do, and they're working through it just like we are. Do you know, the faster that we work through and become one and find peace here and share that peace, the faster we will be invited into the higher realms. What are the higher realms? That's where we will get exposed to and introduced to things that are amazing. Ways to heal, things that we can do that are just unbelievable on this planet. There's never anything to fear. None of it. And many of you have even experienced this. Other realms, other beings, possibly been another being. I'm sure most of you have. And if you are shutting down with this conversation, then you are still in the separatism that believes that this one speck in the endless trillions upon trillions upon trillions, trillions of galaxies and solar systems, think about that, that we're the only ones. It's time to open up your mind and expand it and realize that we will be invited into a world that is amazing, a family that is amazing, when we can get along. It starts with you. So if you're sitting there watching conspiracy theory, your focus is actually on a lower frequency, that there's somebody to blame, that the power is in the government. They don't have any power. I don't need any piece of paper. Big deal. Big whoop. So they show the pieces of paper. And I still am responsible for me and how I act and how I feel. That's it. That's it. I don't care who's doing what underground. If I don't work on this, if I don't bring this frequency up, then nothing else works. Because I, as the individual expression of the one, am the only individual expression responsible for this individual expression. Nobody else gets to infringe that on my free will. If I don't do it, it's not going to happen. And that's you. You cannot blame anybody else if you do not get your own energy, frequency up and release all the blame, all the politics, all the opinions, the individualism, the fear, all of it. Let it go, and you see every single person on this planet as another expression of you, and that it's beautiful, and that it too shall transform. No judgment, no good nor bad. We will experience some things here that are unpleasant because we're in dense bodies, and that will end too. So another advanced video that some people are just not going to want to listen to. But I'm telling you right now, if we do not get this in check, you don't have a lot of time here. And this is an awesome opportunity. This is an amazing opportunity as human beings. We're all getting older. This flesh starts to sag. My neck's been sagging. Things wear out. Everybody goes through it. Big whoop. It's not you. It's the vehicle you're using to create something here. We are part of a major, endless family that is mind-blowing and peaceful and beautiful. And we are being taken care of and watched over. And there is help at all times, from dimensions beyond our imagination to actual other, yes, aliens. I don't think of them as aliens. I think they're just inhabitants of other planets. Some of them don't even live on planets. Why is that so frightening? Big deal. If they were evil, we would not be here right now. Why would they allow us to destroy a perfectly good planet? They wouldn't. They'd have taken us out a long time ago when we fired off the atomic bomb. And they need to be concerned. And we need to be concerned about ourselves. And it is time for us to change this planet and become part of what is going to be the galactic family at some point, with or without you. So, nothing to think about. The only focus required is on your behavior, your thinking, your beliefs, your expansion, your behavior, how you treat the other, and to drop the judgment, drop the anger, drop the blame, drop the hate. That is a human matrix behavior that must stop now. I'm getting a lot of information right now, by the way. And I'm going to be accelerating these messages. I'm going to show you how to manifest, and I would like to see you using it in the most positive ways. Because if your power is just on getting a thing or winning the lottery, there's no contribution to the oneness. And that is the ultimate purpose of us here. I know it's tough to get past it because we just see the material world. We're so disconnected with what we are. But when you reconnect to what you are, you won't need the lottery, baby. I'll tell you that. You're going to be doing stuff that's just going to blow your mind. I found out some things about that I had shared with you before. My pen story. If you guys don't know the pen story, I'll share that in a future video. I found out some things about what that is. I know a lot of you have been experiencing some things that are amazing. Electronic phenomenon. By the way, I've never been able to wear a watch, even as a child. Every single one of them dies, including, like, I had a super expensive watch, it died. In fact, I took it in. They said, it's not the battery. They said, this thing's dead. So you may be putting off an electromagnetic field. You may be experiencing some stuff. You may be getting communications from things. Don't be afraid of anything. Fear nothing. You don't have to fear anything. You are part of the one of everything that's out there. It's all part of you expressing itself. Don't try and analyze this, because that's just a brain trying to give answers to something that there's no answer to. You have powers beyond your imagination when you stop fearing and put everything in a box and believing that we're separate. Can you join me in this? It is imperative. It's imperative. You can still enjoy a beautiful world. In fact, it's going to be amazing. Amazing, it already is. I have felt a major shift. In 2018, I felt it. I felt that it was different. I felt like I was actually on a different planet. I just felt that things had shifted. If it didn't for you, it's not too late. We have a mission. Your mission, if you go into work every day, is to be the most kind, compassionate, loving person you can be in whatever situation. To not judge it, just allow it to be and know that you took this on, and some of it's going to challenge the heck out of you. It's not about them, it's about you. How are you handling that? How are you viewing it? What are you feeling and believing? And what are you tapping into? We're going to have a lot more conversations like this. Do not be afraid of the fact that we are one of endless expressions of beings in the universe, in every possible form. Things that you can't even imagine what they look like. Nothing's ever to be feared. In fact, we're sort of disgusting, to be honest with you. If you think about it, all the stuff that goes on with us. Right? I think it's amazing, and I can't wait till that day when that opens up and we're all aware that, wow, we might actually be invited into the family instead of being the black sheep that misbehaves, that's fighting all the time. Fighting over what? Over what? Let's stop the madness. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.